I have some help. I need some help. I'm asking you for some advice right now. If you're watching this and you get in my chat, then I appreciate it. Real live time. It would be great. If you watch this on a later video, that'd be fantastic too. I just kind of need some updates. So let me get into this just for a second, and then we'll get going here. There we go. That's me. Clock in there. All right. But yeah, as I've been doing that, I started this about March of 2025. So obviously it's been less than a year. And as we approach, Christmas and the end of 2025, I'm wondering about the future. What's going to happen? What are we going to do? So that's kind of where we're at right now. And not only am I really enjoying it, and there's no chance I'm going to be stopping soon because as a lot of people know, this is kind of my therapy overall when I get out here and able to talk about things. And I can't just sit back and relax anymore. I did that in a previous life when I was working, when my kids were younger, and when other things were taking precedent over a lot of things other than politics. And then I realized, hey, you know what? Now I'm in a spot in my life where I can look back, maybe help the people, help get information out, let people understand, and just let people form their own opinions. And that's kind of where I'm at right now with life in general. And it was brought up, hey, you should start your own YouTube channel or start your own podcast, start your own social media presence, which is a weird word for me to say. But that kind of all played into, hey, let's make this happen. And that's where I'm going with this. And I'm pretty excited about it. It's a lot of big learning curve. I'm telling you right now, if you were starting a channel for the first time or even thinking about it, there is a lot to learn. There's so much to do, not only in actually filming things, how to film things, what subject titles, what things to actually talk about, but equipment wise, I've gone through my share of pretty much everything from laptops to microphones. I got a whole pile of junk down here that I hardly ever use. Maybe sometimes I use it on occasion every now and then, but for the most part, it's just wasted money. And then, of course, there's all the things you do online, the editing tool software. You got the little gimmies, the Opus clips and things that will cut down everything and do all the stuff. You got captions, you got things that'll add just whatever you want to, AI generation stuff. So there's so many things that you can do. It's when you first start, it just booms in your head and all these ads start popping up and saying, hey, buy me. This will help your channel. This will get you to 1 million subscribers and this will make you tons of money. And it's like, all right, well, great. But now I'm at that point where I wouldn't say not cruise control at all. And needless to say, I would never, ever hopefully say that about this, but I'm at that point where I can say, all right, here is the moment where we need to focus on what's going on and start getting better at this. So we are at now 366 subscribers. So thank you guys very much for the subscriptions. If you haven't done it yet, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I really appreciate that. We are on our march to 500, hoping to hit it by the end of 2025. And only with your help can I get there. And looking good right now, but we're going to keep doing it. I'm trying to do a very big mix of videos, shorts, and live videos. My typical lives show up Sundays between 6 and 7. And I always try and get that out there. I can't guarantee it's going to be at 6. I can't guarantee or 6:30 or some random. It's just basically some random time. As long as I get in between there after dinner, that's the most important thing that I want to do. So we'll see what happens. But hey, appreciate you guys checking in from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Interesting. I do a lot of USA stuff, but hey, if I'm missing something in Brazil, let me know what's happening down there. I appreciate it. Did a video about the Gulf of America. Let me know what you think about that, baby. But anyway, hey, we're just having fun. We're having a good time. But here's where I need help right now with things. I'm going to be sponsoring a couple channels coming up. Not channels, radio broadcast and other actually established media that's going out there. And not only that, but people are asking me, of course, hey, what do you do? What's going on? And so it's like, all right, well, let's try this. Let's try these new elevator speeches. And I did one myself. And then, of course, I found this other thing called, oh, look, Grok on X. And not only amazing overall as far as that goes, the things that thing AI will pop up. I have not gotten into Chat GPT. I know some other people use that extensively. I try and do my own things. I try and do my own ideas and research and going through things. I mean, God, when you plug it in there, and it can pop it up in seconds. It's real easy. I can see why people want to use these for high school, college, maybe middle school for documents. And I can see it. I can see it for sure why that people want to do that. So I don't know. This won't become a thing. But here's the thing. All right. I need my elevator pitch, that 30-second thing when someone says, hey, what do you do? I can say, this is what I do. Wow. And just pop it right out. And that's what I'm looking for. And I also want other people to read this too when I'm sponsoring their programs, whether it be a service club, organization, or just I'm paying money for an ad on a radio spot. I want them to be able to say, there it is. And so that's what I'm looking at doing. And we'll take a look. So listen to this one. This is what, let me make sure this is the right one. Yes, this is what I wrote. This is from my own words, typed with my own fingers. Okay. Let me just take a moment, just breathe it in. All right. So this segment sponsored by Truth Between Lines. That's the obvious one. Okay, here it goes. Okay. Truth Between Lines looks into stories, but more importantly, they look at what isn't being said, discussing local subjects and keying on what is happening around the country. They focus on the details, the unintended consequences, and what people are leaving out to find the truth. Find them on YouTube at Truth Between Lines and X at The Truth Between. Thank you for sponsoring. Okay, that's what I wrote. I'll pause for break right there. And thank you very much for subscribing. Is it Leonardo? Is that your full name? I imagine that's your full name, but that's very cool. All right. Thank you. Appreciate your sponsorship on that one, or your subscribership. Anyway, I got sponsorship in my head now. All right. So that is what I wrote. Now, if I plug the same thing into Grok and I say, Grok, my whole command was give me a 30-second elevator speech about Truth Between Lines using those words that I just used. And it's important that I tell you using those words because I did something different later on and I want to say that. So this is the X version. This is the Grok version of them changing my words. This is not me written and it almost feels dirty, but such as 2025. Oh, here we go. Truth Between Lines dives deep into the stories everyone's talking about, but they shine a light on what's being deliberately ignored or left unsaid. From local issues to what's unfolding across the nation, they zero in on the hidden details, the overlooked ripple effects, and the gaps in the narrative, all to uncover the real truth. Catch them at YouTube at The Truth Between Lines and on X at The Truth Between. All right, so a little mouthful. Obviously, it's not my own words, so I stutter a little bit with that. Yeah. Okay. All right. So then I said, hey, Grok, do a little better. Put something better into this thing. So this is the second version of what Grok brought out. All right, here we go. Truth Between Lines doesn't just report the news. They rip off the mask off of it. They expose what's being buried, glossed over, or flat out lied about. Local stories, national firestorms, they hunt the silent details, the nasty side effects nobody wants you to notice, and the truths of everyone's dodging. Real talk, zero spin, pure signal. Smash that follow, YouTube at The Truth Between Lines and X at The Truth Between. Your feed's being lied to long enough. Time to see what's really going down. What do you think? So that was the second version. All right. All right. So here we go. Here's my, now this is where I'm getting fun. Okay. Now I just said, hey, using all that information, Grok, go ahead and put it with a little urgency. So this is their urgency. Okay. So this is the urgency version of X. And if you're just tuning in, we're trying to find out the 30-second elevator speech. All right. Here we go. Truth Between, I'm sorry, let me start over. I'm getting excited on this one. Truth Between Lines isn't waiting for permission. While the headlights gaslight you and the talking heads spoon feed lies, they're already inside the story, exposing what's being erased in real time. Local cover-ups, national betrayals, the details are killing to hide. The consequences already hitting your doorstep. The truths they're praying you never connect. This isn't tomorrow's problem. It's happening right now. Every second you stay in the dark, the lie wins. Wake up. Eyes open. Now, go to YouTube at The Truth Between Lines and on X at The Truth Between. Follow before the next story gets memory hold. The clock's ticking. End. What do you think? That was X's version of the 30 seconds on with urgency. So what do you think? That's with urgency. Put it in the comments. Let me know what you think. Is that good or bad? It obviously, I've only read those. I read those one time, other than mine, of course, that I wrote. I read the other two one time before I read that out loud. Okay. So just know that I wasn't practicing that at all. That was how it came out. So, all right. So that's my main thing. Now, well, actually, so then I should say, I put in this thing into Grok onto X. And I said, hey, give me a rundown, give me a summary, 30-second summary. Then I did a 60-second summary of what at the truth between, which is my handle on X, and said, hey, what do you think that this channel is about? And this is what X brought back. And it says a lot about the videos, because that's all it knows is my videos. That's all, that's what it says on there. So this is Grok's version of the summary, the 30-second summary of what Truth Between Lines is on X. So thank you, Grok. Here we go. Imagine this. In a world drowning in headlines and spin, where taxpayer dollars vanish into fraud, from Somalia schemes in Minnesota to endless shutdown theater, truth feels buried. But what if we dug deeper? Truth Between Lines is where we read between the lines on education gone wrong, like kids fearing ICE in classrooms or radical whiteness, curricula poisoning minds. We celebrate real stories too. Liver transplant survivors finding purpose, everyday heroes guided by faith. Join us, uncover the facts, skip the noise, and reclaim America's promise. Follow now. What line will you read between today? And that's not bad. That actually brings in a lot of the videos that I do. I mean, I know them because I know all the videos. Obviously, I did them. If you haven't seen all of them, a lot of that, just the titles or what they're about, are in that short 30-second. Now, then I said, that's great. Thank you, Grok, for doing that. Grok, could you put together a 60-second presentation just to make it longer, just to see what my version of Truth Between Lines is on X? This is what it says. Imagine a world where headlines scream one thing, but the real story hides just out of sight, between the lines, waiting for someone brave enough to look. Hi, I'm from Truth Between the Lines, and that's exactly what we're doing, cutting through the noise of biased media, political theater, and forgotten American values to uncover the unvarnished truth. Think about it. Kids terrified of ICE because schools peddle fear instead of facts. Taxpayers' dollars vanishing into fraud schemes like those ripping off Minnesota families, or universities pushing whiteness pandemics that divide us further. We're not here for the echo chambers or the radical agendas. We're exposing government shutdown games that hurt real people, questioning if America's ready for endless mortgages or Trump fatigue, and amplifying voices like liver transplant survivors who rise with purpose, or everyday heroes driven by faith to help others. At The Truth Between, we blend sharp commentary, live discussions on elections and SNAP reforms, and interviews with insiders like Newsmax's Tom Basile, because gratitude beats Black Friday greed, and unity trumps division every time. Join us to read between the lines, reclaim common sense, and build a stronger America. Follow now. What truth will you uncover today? Let's talk. All right. So what do you think? Put it in the chat. Put it in the comments. Let me know what you think. Are those worthwhile? Obviously, it probably changed a few things, but that is Grok's version from X of what At The Truth Between on X does and what the summary is. So I don't know, something to play with. It's my biggest concern right now. If you're watching this video, you just tuned in or watched it from the beginning, I need to know the best elevator pitch so I can put it on a sponsorship tag for someone that's going to read it on there. So that's what I need out of you right now. Anyway, it's very interesting. The first time I've done it on a Wednesday, like I said, I tune in on Sundays between 6 and 7 and Eastern Standard Time, obviously, and in America, if you're watching this from Rio de Janeiro. So I appreciate it. Thank you. Yes, the United States is a wonderful country. Appreciate that, Leonardo. Going back to this, though, thank you guys for the support. We are growing. Obviously, we grew by at least one subscriber at this point, but you can find us also too on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, True Social, Rumble, and of course, X. So thanks again. Shout out to X on Grok. I want to say that more and more. That way, hey, my little thing goes up, my meter, my algorithm goes up on that. We're going to start a podcast on Spotify coming soon. We're putting that together, trying to get around what exactly needs to be done for that. And then we have a website too. We're going to be developing that going forward. I haven't even wanted to do that, but now we're getting it out quasi 1 year point in a couple months, and I want to make sure we're fully man, fully gun. But I didn't want to work out all the kinks before I did too much craziness, and just got out there and make sure I enjoyed this, which I 100% am. So, anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Thanks for getting on there, subscribing, your likes, all the comments, even the negative comments are sometimes fun. I actually have a good laugh about them, and then I talk about them later on in either shorts or videos too. So whatever you do to help the channel, just do that. I appreciate it. God bless you all. Merry Christmas, and stay well. And just always remember to look for the truth between lines. Take care, guys.